Prefabricating the cloud in Terraform. What if I told you that the way most people write Terraform is setting them up to fail, not because they're doing it wrong exactly, but because they haven't made the shift that separates engineers who manage infrastructure from engineers who scale it? Today we're talking about Terraform Modules. By the end of this video, you're going to look at cloud infrastructure the same way an architect looks at prefabricated building parts, reusable, reliable, and ready to assemble anywhere in the world. Let's get into it. The monolithic infrastructure problem. Picture this. You start a new project, crack open a fresh main.tf file, and start writing. 6 months later, that one file has 3,000 lines of code, and touching anything in it feels like defusing a bomb. This is the monolithic infrastructure problem, and it comes with 3 headaches. First, complexity. Single config files balloon to thousands of lines. Second, duplication. You copy-paste the same resource blocks across environments, and now have 3 places to update every time something changes. Third, and scariest, blast radius. One wrong change cascades across your entire tightly coupled infrastructure. Sound familiar? There's a way out. 3. The multi-file illusion. Some of you might be thinking, I already split my Terraform into multiple files. Main.tf, key_pair.tf, dynamodb_table.tf, security_group.tf. I'm good, right? Here's the thing. Splitting files is not the same as modularizing. Under the hood, Terraform takes every .tf file in a directory and processes them all together as one flat configuration. So yes, splitting improves human readability, but it does nothing to fix code duplication. You still can't reuse that security group in another project without copy-pasting the whole thing. The multi-file approach is an illusion of organization. Real scalability requires something fundamentally different. 4. The modular paradigm shift. Here's where everything changes, and once you get this, it clicks fast. A Terraform module is simply a directory containing .tf files. That's it. Every Terraform project you've written has technically been a module. The question is whether you're using them intentionally. There are 2 types. The root module is where you run your Terraform commands, your entry point. The child module is a separate directory that encapsulates a specific piece of infrastructure logic. Your root module calls it, it does its job, it reports back. Think of it like functions in programming. Write the logic once, call it wherever you need it, pass in what changes. That's the modular paradigm shift. 5. Case study. The FlexIT payroll app. Let's make this real. Meet FlexIT, a payroll company deploying infrastructure across multiple countries. Their AWS architecture includes an EC2 application server hosting the software logic, a DynamoDB NoSQL database storing employee and payroll data, and an S3 bucket storing pay stubs and tax forms, all inside a VPC. Their challenge? They need to deploy this exact same compliant architecture globally, US, UK, and beyond. Doing it the old way means duplicate Terraform code for every country, with every update applied manually in multiple places. The smarter way? Package this architecture as a reusable module, a blueprint that gets stamped out globally with just a few values swapped in. 6. Anatomy of a custom module blueprint. Here's what the FlexIT module looks like. It lives at /modules/payroll-app and contains 4 files: app_server.tf, dynamodb_table.tf, s3_bucket.tf, and variables.tf. Inside the module, some things are fixed, baked-in business rules that never change. The EC2 instance type is always t2.medium. The DynamoDB billing mode is always pay_per_request. The hash key is always employee ID. But other things are flexible inputs, variables passed in at deployment time. The AWS region, the machine image ID, and the S3 bucket prefix all vary by country. Fixed elements ensure compliance. Variable inputs allow flexibility. That's the entire design philosophy of a well-built module. Point 7. Instantiating the blueprint. How do you actually use this module? You write a module block and give it a logical name. Here it's us_payroll, which is how Terraform tracks this instance in the state file. Then you provide the source argument, pointing to the relative path of your child module directory. After that, you inject your variables. App_region gets us_east1, and AMI gets the region-specific image ID. That's it. 3 lines of variable input, and you've instantiated an entire application stack. Now what happens when you need to deploy to the UK? This is where it gets exciting. Module resource addressing one important concept before we move on. How Terraform identifies resources inside modules. The format is predictable. It starts with the keyword module, followed by the module name, the resource type, and the resource name, all separated. So the DynamoDB table inside the US Payroll module is addressed as module.us_payroll.aws_dynamodb_table.payroll_db. This matters when you're running targeted plans, debugging state files, or managing multiple regional deployments. Terraform always knows exactly which resource belongs to which module instance. Clean state. Clean management. Accelerating with the Terraform registry. Here's where you can seriously speed things up. You don't always have to build modules from scratch. Terraform has a public registry, like NPM or PyPI, but for infrastructure. Thousands of pre-built modules for AWS, Azure, and GCP. When you build a local module, your source argument points to a relative path on your machine. When you pull from the registry, source points to the registry module path, and Terraform fetches it automatically during Terraform init. Two approaches: local build for custom proprietary logic, public registry for standardized battle-tested configurations. Navigating the registry. Not all registry modules are equal. Verified modules carry a blue checkmark, tested and maintained by HashiCorp, or official technology partners. They follow best practices, they're regularly updated, and they're highly reliable for production use. Community modules are created by individual developers, not validated by HashiCorp, which doesn't mean they're bad. Many are excellent, but you need to do your homework. Check the publisher, review the version history, read the documentation, and understand exactly what the module provisions before it touches your infrastructure. Treat community modules like code reviews. Trust but verify. 12. Implementing a registry module. Here's what implementing a registry module looks like. You write a module block, name it security_group_SSH, point source to the full registry path, and pass in your inputs, VPC_ID, ingress_CIDR_blocks, and name. Now pay close attention. There's a version field set to 3.1, 6.0. This is not optional. If you omit it, Terraform pulls the latest version automatically every time you run Terraform init. If the module publisher releases a breaking change in a new version, and it happens, your environment breaks the next time anyone initializes the project. Always pin your module version. Commit it. Treat it like a dependency lock file. 13. Initialization and workflow. Once your modules are configured, deployment follows 3 clean steps. Step 1. Fetch. Run Terraform get, or Terraform init. This downloads external registry modules and stores them in the .terraform/modules directory. Nothing is built yet. You're pulling the blueprints. Step 2. Review. Run Terraform plan. Terraform resolves all module configurations, applies variable inputs, and outputs a detailed preview of every infrastructure change pending. Read this carefully. It's your last checkpoint. Step 3. Build. Run Terraform apply. Terraform provisions all resources in the correct dependency order. Fetch. Review. Build. Get comfortable with this loop. 14. The Modular Infrastructure Master Plan. Let's zoom out and tie everything together. At the top sits your root module, the central orchestration point. Below it, 2 child modules. On the left, the FlexIT Payroll local module, managing custom application logic. On the right, the AWS SSH registry module, handling standardized security. Together they form a complete production-ready stack. 3 core principles to carry with you. 1. Manage complexity. Encapsulate logic behind clear module boundaries so nobody has to understand the whole system at once. 2. Ensure consistency. One change propagates everywhere it needs to. No drift, no copy-paste errors. 3. Accelerate provisioning. Use the Terraform registry. Stop reinventing the wheel. If this clicked for you, drop a comment below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more deep dive DevOps content.